All right, we're going to be talking about properties of parallelograms. First of all, we need to define what is a parallelogram. Well, a parallelogram is basically a quadrilateral with two sets of parallel lines. So let me write that over here. It's a quadrilateral. That means four sides, right? A polygon with four sides with two sets of parallel lines. So that means, guys, that this side AC and BD are parallel to each other. So AC is parallel to BD. Let me use the color here. And also it means that AB and CD are also parallel to each other. So AB is parallel to CD. Right? So that's the definition of a quadrilateral parallelogram, which is a special quadrilateral with two sets of parallel lines. Now, parallelograms have like different properties. So the first property over here, so let's take a look at it, okay, is the following. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, so remember, we're dealing with parallelograms, right? Then its opposite sides and angles are congruent. Because they're the same. So if you're dealing with angles, so let's go over here, angles. Well, this angle over here, Q, is congruent to the opposite angle, which is across the here, that will be S. So it's the same measurement, it's congruent. And basically angle P is congruent to angle R. And the same thing with the sides. So let me use a different color. Sides. Well, in this case, side QR is congruent to side PS. And side QP is congruent to side RS. So the opposite sides and opposite angles are congruent. Now let's take a look at the example. So let's move it up a little bit. We got a parallelogram, and they want to find out what is the value of X and what is the value of Y. So again, sides are congruent, angles, so opposite sides are congruent, and opposite angles are congruent. So let's start with the angles. So we know that this angle, talking about this one over here, no, this angle, sorry, my mistake. So we know that this angle over here, which is one, Y, is congruent to that angle over there. So we know that basically Y is the same thing as 65 degrees. There you go. That is for the angles. Now for the sides. So this is the one I was talking about here. This side over here, okay, X plus 4 is equal to the opposite side, which is this one here, 12. Well, we can solve for X, and you should be getting X equals to 8. Simple. Okay, let's go and see more properties here, okay? another property here. So let's take a look at this one over here. Right, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its consecutive angles are supplementary. So supplementary, consecutive angles are supplementary. That means that they are up to 180 degrees. So consecutive, so that will be this one with this one, or this one with this one, or this one with this one, or this one with that one. So they are not like, you know, the opposites. They are like next to each other. So in this case, let me use this color. X plus Y are up to 180 degrees. Okay? Simple. All right. So this is the same thing as we have, you know, remember the two parallel lines and we have the transversal. So two parallel lines, we have the transversal. Notice that this angle, right, that will be Y and that will be X. They were supplementary. Okay, that comes from that. All right. Next thing. Let's move it up a little bit. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals, okay? We're talking about these diagonals. These are the diagonals from here to there and there and there. Okay, it's that diagonals bisect each other, so they cut each other in half. Bisect each other. So what is the meaning of that? It means that, this over here is the same thing as that one. So this and that are the same measurement. And guess what? QM and MS is the same measurement. So let's put it together. So QM is congruent to MS. And PM is congruent to MR. All right. So let's see if we can figure out this problem over here. There's a bunch of information that we're looking for. They want to know what is PO, OQ, NO, and so on. And we're going to be using all of the properties of the parallelograms. So pause the video, see if you're able to figure it out. All right. So let's start with this problem. Well, what we know is that we know that MN is the same thing as PO because opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. So we know that this here is the same as that. So PO is going to be 24. 24 units. Okay? This one over here. Well, this one is going to be the same thing as this one here. So MP and NO is the same thing. So that will be 26. So I can write down 26 over here. Units. So again, this is 24. This is 26. Now, what else? What else can we find over here? OP. OQ. All right. So we know that the diagonals bisect each other. So we know that this piece over here, 14, is going to be the same thing as this one over here. It's also 14. So OQ is 14. So we got that one 14 right there. And PQ, well, we know that PQ is going to be the same thing as this piece over here. So this is 20.7. This is also 20.7. So let's write it over here. 20.7. Let's go with the angles, all right? All right. What else can we find over here? We got opposite angles are basically congruent to each other. So first of all, if this is 59, this one has to be also 59, okay? So we know that. So let's write down over here 59, 59, 59. What else do we know? Well, we can, we can dissect the picture. So let's dissect the picture because there's a lot of information here. So let's try to dissect the picture. Let's draw only the angles here. Let's do it like this. This is M, this is N, O, and P. Right? So we know that this piece over here, this angle over here is 68. It's right here, that's 68, the whole thing. So we know this is 68. Angle N. So we know that also this one is going to be also 68. And we know that this angle and this angle are basically consecutive, and they're supposed to be supplementary. So we know that that is going to be 112, okay? So remember, angle M plus 68 is going to be 180. They're consecutive, right? So if you do that, angle M is going to be equal to 112. So let me use a different color here. So this is the big picture here, 128 on 128. Now we got all this information, now we can use it. This is the same thing as that one, so it doesn't have the diagonals. Now, let's take a look at PMN, angle PMN, PMN, right? PMN, oh, that's 128 degrees. No, 112 degrees. So I wrote it down. It's 112. 112. Right there. So that's 112. Because 112 plus 68 is 180, right? All right. So what about NOP? NOP. NOP. That is also 112 degrees. Now it's gonna get a little bit more complicated. Now it's gonna get OPN, 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 OPN is this one, this angle over here. We're looking at this angle here. Not the whole thing, this angle here. So we know this is 59, okay? This one has to be 53 because 59 plus 53 is going to be equal to 112. Remember, the whole thing is 112, so this is going to be 53. Because 59 plus 53 is 112. That's what we got right here, right? So this is 59, this is 53. Guess what? We got there, right there. Right, 59, 53. And we're looking for OPN. Okay, so that will be OPM 59, 10, 12, 10, 68. Okay. Okay, OPM is 68. So we're looking at OPM 68. And then we're looking for NMO. NMO. MMO, that's 59. And we got all of the angles and all of the sides. I hope this is helpful for you guys. Please don't forget to do your assignments.